Welcome to Story Sauce. I'm Sid.
And I'm Susie.
And today, Susie, we're going to be reading an Australian folktale.
Australia.
Yeah, it's called The Gwineeboos.
Gwineeboos.
Yeah, it's a very funny name.
It is.
Sounds Australian. The Gwineeboos. Okay, here we go. Gwineeboo and Gumai were down at the creek one day, getting mussels for food, when, to their astonishment, a kangaroo hopped right into the water beside them. Well, they knew that he must be escaping from hunters who were probably getting close. So Gwineeboo quickly seized her stick and knocked the kangaroo on the head. He was caught fast in the weeds in the creek, so could not escape. When the two old women had killed the kangaroo, they hid its body under the weeds in the creek, afraid to take it out and cook it straight away in case the hunters came up and claimed it.
Okay.
The little son of Gwineeboo, little Gwineeboo, watched them from the bank. After hiding the kangaroo, the women picked up their mussels and started for their camp, when up came the hunters, Quarien and Gidgiriga, who had tracked the kangaroo right to the creek. Gidgiriga.
Gidgiriga.
Another very Australian name. Seeing the women, they said, "Did you see a kangaroo?" The women answered, "No, we saw no kangaroo."
No.
"That's strange," said the hunters, "because we tracked it right up to here." "We have seen no kangaroo. See, we have been digging for mussels for food. Come to our camp and we will give you some when they're cooked."
The young men, puzzled in their minds, followed the women to their camp. And when the mussels were cooked, the hunters joined the old women at their dinner. The little boy would not eat the mussels. He kept crying to his mother, "Gwineeboo, Gwineeboo, I want kangaroo. I want kangaroo. Gwineeboo, Gwineeboo." "There," said Quarien, "your little boy has seen the kangaroo, and he wants some. It must be here somewhere." "Oh, no. He cries for anything he thinks of. Some days for kangaroo. He's only a little boy, and he does not know what he wants," said old Gwineeboo. But still the child kept saying, "Gwineeboo, Gwineeboo, I want kangaroo. I want kangaroo." Gumai was so angry with little Gwineeboo for asking for kangaroo, thereby making the young men suspicious, that she hit him so hard on the mouth to keep him quiet. And blood came.
Oh,
It trickled down his breast, staining it red. When she saw this, old Gwineeboo grew angry in her turn and hit old Gumai, who returned the blow, and so a fight began. More words than blows, so the noise was great. The women fighting, little Gwineeboo crying, not quite knowing whether he was crying because Gumai had hit him, because his mother was fighting, or because he still wanted kangaroo. Quarien said to Gidgiriga, "They have the kangaroo hidden here somewhere. Let us slip away now in the confusion. We will only hide, then come back in a little while, and we'll surprise them."
They went quickly away, and as soon as the two women noticed they had gone, they ceased fighting and determined to cook the kangaroo. They watched the two young men until they were out of sight and waited some time so as to be sure that they were safe. Then down they hurried to get the kangaroo. They dragged it out and were just making a big fire on which to cook it when up came Quarien and Gidgiriga, saying, "Aha! We thought so. You had our kangaroo all the time. Little Gwineeboo was right." "But we killed it," said the women. "But we hunted it here," said the men, and so saying caught hold of the kangaroo and dragged it away some distance, where they made a fire and cooked it. Gumai, Gwineeboo, and her little boy went over to Quarien and Gidgiriga and begged for some of the meat, but the young men would give them none, though little Gwineeboo cried piteously for some. But no, they said they would rather throw what they did not want to the hawks than give it to the women and child. At last, seeing that there was no hope of getting any, the women went away. they built a big darder, which I think is a kind of small hut for themselves, shutting themselves in and the little boy too. Then they began singing a song which was to invoke a storm to destroy their enemies, for that is what they now considered Quarian and Gidgariga.
Well, sure.
For some time they chanted, Mugare, Mugare, May, May, Ehu, Ehu, Dangara. First, they would begin very slowly and softly, gradually getting quicker and louder, until at length they almost shrieked it out. The words they said meant, come hailstones, come wind, come rain, come lightning.
While they were chanting, little Gwineeboo kept crying, and he would not be comforted. Soon came big drops of rain, then a big wind, and as that lulled, more rain. Then came thunder, then came lightning, and the air grew bitterly cold. And then there came a pitiless hailstorm. Hailstones bigger than a duck's egg fell from the sky, cutting the leaves from the trees and bruising their bark. Gidgariga and Quarian came running over to the darder, and they begged the women to let them in. No, shrieked Gwineeboo above the storm. There was no kangaroo meat for us. There is no dardur shelter for you. Ask shelter of the hawks whom you fed. The men begged to be let in, said they would hunt again and get kangaroo for the women, not one but many kangaroo. No, again shrieked the women. You would not even listen to the crying of a little child. It is better such as you should perish. And the storm raged fiercer, and the women sang louder. Mugare, mugare, may, may, ehu, ehu, dongara.
So long and so fierce was the storm that the young men must have perished, had they not been changed into birds.
Oh.
First, they were changed into birds, and afterwards into stars in the sky, where they are now. Gidgariga and Quarian, with the kangaroo between them, still bearing the names that they bore on the earth.
The hunters up in the sky.
Yeah. This story is originally called Gwineeboo the Redbreast, and I think the redbreast comes from the blood that fell onto the boy's chest when Quarian
whacked him in the mouth.
When he got whacked in the mouth. I think probably that this is a story that the Aboriginal Australians told to explain the constellation patterns in the sky.
Sure.
You know, many cultures, such as the Australian Aboriginals and the North American First Nations people, and the ancient Greeks and the Mayans, they all created mythologies or stories to explain the patterns in the sky that make the constellations.
Exactly.
What patterns do you see when you look up into the sky? Do you guys have any stories about constellations from your culture? I'm sure you do. Most cultures do. It's very interesting.
Think about it.
Okay, so that was Gwineeboos the Redbreast.
Good one.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed that. And we'll see you next time for more stories on Story Sauce. Bye-bye.
See you later.